Hey, alumni friends, it's Troy, the alumni guy at North Hennepin Community College, and it's time for another North Hennepin Community College alumni coffee break. And joining me today, this man probably doesn't need any introduction to most of you. Mr. Tylan Mitchell joins us. Tylan, man, it is awesome to see you.
Awesome to see you too. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And, gosh, I'm just so proud of you. You just have rocked the technology world. You're a software developer and you work in data management. But, I'm sure our audiences be curious, what attracted you to that field?
Um, hmm. I mean, I think since I was little, since I was a kid, I remember my mom buying a new printer. This was in the 90s, early 90s, I think. I remember her buying a new printer and she didn't know how to hook it up to the computer or put it together. And it was just sitting in front of me. And so I figured it. I remember like vividly figuring it out, putting it together, installing the software that needed to be installed. And she was just astonished. And she was like, "Oh, he's gonna be a computer person." And somehow that's what came to fruition, 20 something years later or whatever it is. So yeah, I guess I've always kind of had affinity for like technology and things like that. History too, so I could have easily just been like a black history professor or teacher, and I guess I still can, but it's like history and technology, so it's yeah.
I remember that about you too. And, your time in the diversity office, as we were talking about off camera, was, as you
Mhm.
said, and I agree with you, the golden age of that office. And you were
Mhm.
a force in that office for sure. But I wanted to ask you, yes, oh yeah, I can remember that like it was
Uh,
yesterday.
I'm just another guy. Don't man.
Ah,
I just
no, no,
hang out.
so
Don't worry about it.
but I,
Yeah.
I liked one of your comments about, it navigates a mentor, right? Somebody that was formative to your experience here, and you called him an NHCC legend. Tell our audience
Mhm.
about the NHCC legend.
So Mike, I got to give it to Michael Birchard, who I think went above and beyond his role. Even, honestly, before he even became, I think, the chief diversity officer, he was a trio advisor.
Yes.
And he was one of three trio advisors, but he wasn't my advisor. But I remember that he still would see me in the hallway and still help me. And my first year that I went to North Hennepin, when I was writing my essay to get the scholarship to go to Spain, which I didn't think I would ever win. I rewrote it 100 times, and then I had my advisor look at it, and then Michael even offered to look at it. I'm like, "Oh, aren't you busy with other students?" But he just kind of had like a knack for just helping people, and so he helped me even revise that essay, which obviously I eventually wanted and got to go to Spain for a month and all that, and to me that was life changing. So that was before he even became chief diversity officer. Then when he became chief diversity officer, then that goes into the whole diversity office thing, which, as I mentioned, was like the golden age where there was just a lot of things going on. We had a bunch of initiatives and clubs, and
Mhm.
I had the privilege of being the president of the Pan African Student Association. I think it was formerly the AAASA, and then I pushed to change the name, and then uh, we created a club of substance. If I remember correctly, I know it was me and Quentin Hurd,
Yep.
of course.
Yes.
Um, um, and Quinn and I can't remember my sister's name. She's gonna kill me,
Yes.
but but it
Candace?
was it was no, it wasn't Candace.
Okay.
Candace is always there, though. That's my sister, though. But
Okay.
yeah, it was a bunch of us it was a lot of us that pitched in to get things going and to manage things and to keep things alive. And it literally became, I think, the diversity office itself became kind of the cultural center of the university in my university of the college, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And so that was a great experience being part of that and contributing to that. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing that you mentioned that I really loved, many of our students come here, as a student, right? I'm going to take classes, I'm going to, get my degree, but you were emphasizing the extracurricular with me and its importance in your college life. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, after I finished at North Hennepin, I ended up going to Oxburg. But after graduating like last year, I realized that like my whole college experience, if you want to call it that, that was all North Hennepin. That was before I got to a 4-year. That was all North Hennepin. And to me, that made like the college experience. I mean, I still have pictures and stuff that I think I'm gonna put up in my office and stuff like that, because to me, that was the college experience. Because, I didn't go to stay on a campus somewhere in the dorm rooms and things like that. I didn't get to, do all of that. But what I was doing at North Hennepin, that was a whole, experience. I think I became a better person, a sharper person, better spoken person, well-spoken person. And just being, like I said, just being part of that club and that movement and having everyone around. I can start naming countless names,
Yeah.
but I don't want to forget anyone. So I'm gonna just say a lot of people. I don't want to forget anyone. So, but man, yeah, we going through all those classes and doing homework and even working in a diversity office. And I had kind of got some experience with managing the different clubs and ordering food here, scheduling the meeting here, making sure that we get the email out here and putting this up on the site. So things like that. So to me, all those things made the college experience for me, including going to Spain. Because that wasn't planned for at all, because that was in 2011. But,
Mhm.
In 2010, when I started at North Hennepin, I didn't plan to do all of that. And I think I got to give it to Shelly Siegel, who was a
Yeah.
trio advisor at the time. She kept bugging me and pushing me to apply for this scholarship and write this essay. And at the time, I was like, I already have like 11 classes and I have to have homework in all of them. I don't have time for an extra essay or an extra work. But she kept bugging me every time I would see her in the hallway. And I can't thank her enough for bugging me to do that, because ultimately it kind of changed my life. Because I'm not gonna lie, when she told me that I had won the scholarship to Spain, I didn't know where Spain was on the map.
Yeah.
Didn't know. I'm like, oh, it's over east somewhere. Didn't know exactly where it was on the map. So I was very humbled by that and just surprised, and it helped me grow as a person. So with that, not to go into a whole story, but with that just fits into the North Hennepin, community college / college experience. So that's why, like, my college experience, although I went to a 4-year, was still encased in North Hennepin. With all of that, right?
Oh, yeah, there isn't any higher praise. And I've got to share with you, in all the interviews I've done, TRIO and the diversity office are usually the top 2 programs, along with student life, that are most
Yeah.
mentioned and remembered by our students. And I agree with you, Michael, Shelly, all of the different student life directors. There's been a few now that we've had, but
Alex.
Kitty Hanneman, Donna Heinrichs, were huge in that era. And I tell you, it does the heart good to know how formative those programs were for our students. And I completely agree with your comments, Tylan.
Oh yeah, man, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Even the math center, the math resource center.
Dale Bradkey. Yeah,
Dale.
yeah,
Dale saved my life a couple times, not in terms of doing the work for me, obviously, but just showing me and repeating himself 13 times so I can understand trigonometry and calculus. I went all the way up from whatever beginner math all the way up to calculus 1.
yes.
So the math resource center was
Vital.
was an experience within itself. So that
Yeah.
was pretty cool too. So,
That man truly is an unsung hero. I think he's approaching 30 plus years here at North Hennepin. He still works in the Math Resource Center.
my
I
whole life.
I talked to him just the other day. He's doing all of his sessions remotely with students and just
Wow.
sits on Zoom, and he helps every student that comes to him. He's quite a man as well. Yeah. So Tylan, thanks for giving props to all these amazing people at the college. And you,
Of
my
course.
friend, are right in company with them. All the success that you've had. We are super proud of you, Tylan.
Appreciate it. Just
Absolutely.
trying.
Maybe we could do another coffee break here just to check in, to come back and see how you're doing. I'd like to do
Yeah,
it.
no. I'm busy with other things like anyone else, but I'm never too busy to, talk about my North Hennepin experiences and stories, and
Yeah.
even things we did in PASA, the Pan African Student Association. And I think we went to a Underground Railroad simulator program.
Wow. Wow.
And a lot of people in the diversity office know about that. That was a really great experience too. That has stayed with me. And Quentin Hurd, kind of brought up the idea because I believe he knew someone at the time. So I got to give credit to Quentin, who was a great leader himself.
He is a great.
So yeah, there's a lot of things.
I
You're
know
gonna get me to talk
really
about
well too.
2 hours about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, next time, our next coffee break, we will definitely talk about that. I think that's a great topic and subject, and maybe we can even get Quentin involved, where the both of you can visit and reminisce and remind our audience of some of those formative experiences.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. I can do that. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Tylan Mitchell, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on the NHCC Alumni Coffee Break.
No problem. God bless.